Welcome back, everyone. This is MandoAllDay back with another video, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Spawn with Throne. I believe this is a deluxe version. As always, we're going to be talking about a little bit of the figure itself in terms of the articulation, sculpture, and paint, and if it's worth the purchase or not. But before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at front of the box, and as you can see, here's a GameStop. So you know I had to get this for the price I paid, which we'll talk about in a bit, but the front of the box looks like, and yes, it's definitely beat up. I mean, look at this. Oof, look at that. You can see it right there. I got a beat up one, but it's alright though. The front of the box looks like. This side, there we go. The back, which is really cool art. I really like this art. The other side. Top. And of course, bottom. Alright, now let's take a look at the figure outside the box. As always, these Spawn figures do come with a regular span, wow, can't even speak right now. A stand that you can see where there's Spawn. And unfortunately, with these Spawn figures, they don't come with a card, which I'm surprised, because I would think they do, because the art pieces on the back of the box is really, really cool. So I wish it came with an art piece card, but it is what it is, though. Now, this one is a deluxe one, so it does come with quite a few accessories. So this is one here, it's cape. And pretty, really detailed cape, though. I like that silver paint on here. It does have that leather look. And there's definitely some marks on there that's kind of ripped, which looks really, really, really cool. And the way you apply this on is fairly easy. Put the head in the back of Spawn. There's a little hole for that, which I'll show you in a bit. Pretty straightforward, but you can see a little bit of Spawn mask right there. The symbol right there and right there. But it's not that clear. It's a little messy, but again, it's not that big of a deal. But pretty detailed cape, and I like it. I really, really like it. I think it looks really, really cool. And of course, it does come with a throne. And man, this is a really, really dope throne. So the way it comes with, it does come with two pieces to it. This top part of here just comes off. You can see that. So just be careful of it. It's a bit loose on mine. Not a big deal. Something that I noticed though. But let's take a look at the throne. Because man, the amount of detail on this throne is just amazing. Just look at that skull, the painted skulls, and there's a lot of stuff going on here. It looks like there's some kind of spine right there. Obviously more over here in the back. And again, a lot of detail on this throne. And again, I'm not familiar with the Spawn lore, so correct me if I'm saying something wrong, or if I'm incorrect, please correct me. But looks like you have a little skull here in the front. Again, just some more detail on the throne. It looks fantastic, man. It's a lot going on. It's almost like it reminds me of the Game of Thrones throne. Yeah, there we go. That makes sense. But it just looks so cool, man. You got more of the spine look. You got a skull right there too. You got a weapon right here, like a rifle. Then you got a saw blade right there. Again, more skulls. Just look at all of that detail. It is just top notch. You got some blacks, some grays, some whites, some dark browns, some light browns. It just looks fantastic, man. Again, more skulls here. You got more of this art piece right here, the art piece, more of the spine on there too, and it just looks so much detail, man. You got a tire right here. Just look at all this. This is what I'm talking about. When McFarlane does some weird, crazy stuff, he does some weird, crazy stuff. And this is a perfect example of it, man. It just looks so good, man. It just looks fantastic. And again, it's just a throne. This is just a throne, and it's just, man, you got the red cape on here. Then you got more on the side right there. Again, it just looks so good, man. I really dig this, man. This is really, really cool. I really dig the throne. So again, that's just the throne. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. Right, so right away, I like the head sculpture. The head sculpture, it looks really good. I thought it was going to be more of that clean, like flush look, smooth look to it. But it's actually, no, it's a bit of a detail on there too. I don't know if my camera can pick it up, but I know here, and when you see it in person, there's a bit of an indentation right there. You can see it right there. But the head sculpture itself, it's not a clean look. It's kind of has some little texture look to it, if that makes any sense. You can see that right there in the nose. It has that painted green eyes, which I'm a sucker for it, and it looks good. I like that white paint. It's not really white. It's like a cream kind of paint, but again, my camera, it looks like it's white. Head articulation, it's good. Up, down, good. And yeah, the paint's clean looking. So overall, head sculpture looks good. Again, the green eyes I'm a sucker for, and the paint's good. I dig it. I can't complain. Shoulder articulation's good. Bicep, good. Elbows, it's a little stiff, but good. Wrists, they do articulate, there you go. Good. And torso, good. So, in terms of the arm articulation and torso, it's good, but man, just look at that. Very detailed. I do like this cream look right there. And again, in terms of the body, it's just very masculine body, but it looks good. The very defined muscles, which I really, really like. You can really see this definition. Here's that hole on the back. Like I said, the way you put this on, just put on the head, boom, and there's that hole, the pin that goes inside right here. But anyways, like I was saying, you can see a lot of the muscle tone, which I really like about this figure. You can really see all the muscles. It looks really cool, but then you got this gauntlet right here, just spikes, and they just stick out. And I like how it's painted silver. It just grabs your attention. It just looks really, really, really cool, man. I did really dig it. And then you got more on the other side arm here. It's not as big as this on his left arm, but again, still present on the spikes on there too. On his hand, you got that silver. And of course on his bicep. I liked it. And what I like about it is the red is actually like a matte red, but yet the spikes are like a, you see a little bit of like a silver, which I like though. So overall though, I gotta say the upper body looks good, looks clean, very defined muscles. The paint application's good. The detail is good. Just the paint, it gets very limited, but again, that's how Spawn how it looks. So can't really hate on it, but overall, I dig it, man. I think the upper body looks really, really cool, and I really dig it. Let's take a look at his belt, because man, that thing is massive. The chains on there, and what I like about it, it has that bright silver. It just really does pop, because everything else on this figure is like a matte look. So when you have that black matte with that silver, it just pops. It just grabs your attention. I mean, look at She-Spawn's chain around her, and look at Spawn, this Spawn here. You can really see how bright this is. So I really dig it. And you got that Spawn logo here in the front. I really dig it, and of course on the back as well too. Take a look at the lower body. Leg articulation is good. Knees, good. Ankles, good. And of course toes. The articulate one's a little stiff. There you go. Good. So articulation of the legs is good. But man, where do we get started? So we'll start with the left leg. So just like the upper body, the legs very defined, very masculine. Definitely does squats. He definitely does squats, man. But very defined muscles, man, on his legs. I really dig it. And I also like how it's matte. And then you get the matte red on there too. I wish maybe you could paint this a little bit like a black on the buttons right here. That would be really, really cool. But again, I like how they're very defined. You see that? This is what I mean by defined. It's not just all like one piece and just kind of like painted it. No, it's really defined. See that? And that's what makes it really good and stand out. And it really does look good. Then you got the leg right there. You got more of the spikes on there too. Again, you get the matte red. Then you got the silver spikes on his feet and as well on his ankles. And it looks good, man. And on his right leg, very defined muscles, you can see. But you got that big old, I don't know if you want to call it boot or not. So I don't know what you call this. So correct me what would you call it for Spawn? Again, I'm not familiar with the lore, but same thing that's present on the arm. His right arm has that big gauntlet. Same thing on here on his right leg. You got that big old boot. Again, very matte red, but you got that bright silver, and you got a little bit of a sculpture design right there too, even underneath, which I dig. I like it. It gives it an extra style look to it, but very, very massive, man. And again, I think it's huge. I don't know if it's a boot or not, so it is what it is, though. But overall, in my opinion, I think it's a really cool looking figure, man. I like it. It looks good. It looks clean. Looks similar to the comic character, and I like it, man. So, of course, the main question is this worth your purchase? Should you go out there and get this deluxe edition? And I said deluxe because I think this is deluxe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this one includes, again, the throne, the cape, and of course the figure itself. Now, the question, like I said, is it worth the purchase? Well, let's break it down. Meanwhile, I put this on. So, is it at least worth the purchase of retail $40? In my humble opinion, there you go. In my humble opinion, and I'm going to get a lot of hate, I think for $40, I don't think so. And here's why. Because think about it, $20 for the figure, alright, and then you're paying another $20 for the throne. Ask yourself, is this really worth $20? And I'm sorry, similar to She-Spawn, I like the figure, don't get me wrong, But is it worth the $40? I don't think so. I think $40 you know, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say no. I don't think Spawn is the deluxe version. I don't think it's worth $40. If this was worth like 30, heck yeah, I think that's a really good price. But I think for 40, it's just it's borderline like fair to a point where it's like not worth it. So that's just me. Now, like I said, if it would be a good price for me to like say, you know what, thumbs up for me, get it. I would say for $30, I think it's a really good deal. For $30, you're getting a really cool looking throne, really good looking, clean looking figure with some details and that cape. So I think for $30 is a good price. Now, I did not pay $30 or $40. Like the first part of the video, you saw the GameStop logo clearance, and I paid $20, man. So for $20, fuck yeah, man. For $20 for this and a throne from GameStop, fuck yeah. Now, I am an outbox collector, some inbox collector, so keep that in mind. So, you know, because I've noticed that some people have been posting their $20 deluxe Spawn figures from GameStop and their box damages, so keep that in mind, though. But for me, for $20 that I paid for again, the figure and the throne, fantastic deal for $20. I think $30 is a good, really good price. In my opinion, it's a bit of a fair price. 40 is just borderline, like it might be too much, but also it's borderline. So to me though, regardless of the price though, thumbs up for me, man. I like the throne and this figure, so this figure alone with the throne, thumbs up for me. And what I paid for $20, that's like a fuck you, like damn, worth the purchase price. So that's just my opinion on it. And if you are interested in getting this figure, go to GameStop.com or go to your local GameStop and order them. I went to my local GameStop and I placed an order and they were able to ship it, including other figures. We'll do a video, but again, you don't have to get it at the store. You can go to a GameStop store and ask for it to be mailed out to you, and they'll be able to get it, just like I did. So if you are interested in getting this figure, and again, for $20 via GameStop, thumbs up for me, man. Alright, here we have Spawn, I believe it's called Deluxe, but it comes with a bunch of accessories, and of course, the regular Spawn. They both look good. In terms of the height, they're pretty much identical. The only difference is, of course, the hair on her makes her seem a little bit taller, but they're pretty much identical in height. But man, the green eyes, though, I am a sucker for the green eyes, and I think McFarlane nailed it. Again, I'm a sucker for the green eyes, and he did a really good job with it, man. And again, both look fantastic, and this one's falling down. Come on. There we go. There we go. There you go. Not the best angle, but you can get an idea in terms of the height. So there we have Spawn, the Deluxe, and Spawn Deluxe. Here we have Deathstroke from the deceased DC Direct figure, and again, I got it from GameStop too, clearance for $13. And here we have Spawn. I brought the deceased one because it looks like something like McFarlane would do, something creepy like zombie-like. So I figured to compare the two, but you guys can see the difference in detail, and of course the height difference, and of course Spawn is taller. And there we have a little face-off comparison. And like I said, Spawn is taller. Not a whole, actually has a good amount of height, so you guys can see the height difference. So yeah, so there you got Deathstroke and Spawn face to face. Here we have, I think it's Black Flash. I always forget his name, but anyway, so we have the Walmart exclusive Flash, Dark, or Black, whatever, and of course the Spawn Deluxe. And same thing with the Deathstroke one. I brought this one in comparison because this is something that McFarlane would do, like a zombie-like type of thing. So just for size comparison. And in terms of the height, they look about the same. If I pose them like straight up, I think they're probably around the same height. But nonetheless, so you guys can see the detail of these figures face to face. Excuse me. Now here we have Batman Infected. I originally was going to bring a Batman figure to compare, like a regular Batman figure, but I figured, you know what? This is a Spawn figure. McFarlane would do something crazy, and I figured, you know what? Let's bring Infected Batman, because it's something that he would do. So we have Infected Batman, and of course Spawn. You guys can see height comparison. They're about the same. Yeah, I think if I stand up Spawn correctly, he'd probably be the same height. But here we have both face to face. We have Spawn and of course Infected Batman. Now here we have Frankenstein, which is cut off from the screen, but again, just show you how tall he is. And yeah, let me see if I can scoot this back just a little bit. Hopefully figures won't fall. Okay, I can't scoot back too much, but you guys can see the height difference. in comparison. So here we have, let me fix my camera. There you go. So we have Spawn and of course the Mega Fig Frankenstein. Similar to the Deathstroke one and the Flash one. This is something that McFarlane would do, like something crazy and weird. So I figured, you know what, let's have him do a face-off with someone crazy and weird. So we have, again, Spawn and, of course, Frankenstein Mega Fig. And in terms of the height, Spawn's almost as tall as maybe his lower chest of Frankenstein. So if you want to know a comparison in height, there you have Mega Fig Frankenstein. Of course, we had to do this one. We have Cygor, the Mega Fig, and Spawn. Really detailed figure, man. And for the price I paid for, again, if you're watching this right now, go to GameStop, see if they have this on sale, or both of them have on sale. So if you're interested in getting these figures, go to GameStop. No, I'm not affiliated by them. I'm just trying to give you guys a good deal. You guys can, you know, expand and increase your collection. So again, if you're looking for good deals, go to GameStop. But nonetheless, so here we have Cygor, I think it's a Mega Fig. I would call it because I think it's huge. And of course, Spawn Deluxe. And you can see the height comparison. And it reaches almost his mouth. So if you have this one, you want to know how tall this one is, Spawn, it's about his mouth. Well, I would say, you know, let's do a little, yeah. You guys can see the height difference. It's almost his lower mouth for Cygor. But both really good figures. This is so much detail, man. Alright, here we have, of course, I had to bring in this. So you got Violator and you have Spawn Deluxe. Now I'm holding it because, like I said in the Violator figure, it's a cool figure. Mega Fig is really tall, but unfortunately it's a very top heavy, so posing him can be a little difficult. And you might have to kind of put some liquid on here to stiffen up the legs, but nonetheless, so again, not the best comparison, but you guys can kind of see the size difference in height. I'll try to hold them, that you guys can see the height difference, but nonetheless, so Violator and Spawn, and in terms of the height difference, there you go. You guys can see how tall Spawn is compared to Violator. But like I said, I like the Violator figure, so much detail, but the only downside is very top heavy. So posing him is a bit difficult, but it is what it is. So, but for the price I paid for, I am not hating it at all. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me this figure? Did you plan to purchase this figure, or did you already purchase this figure? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So this includes an overview of Spawn Deluxe, and on to the next one.